Hello everybody, my name is KingStix and we're going to be looking at the AKALI rework that's going to be coming to League of Legends fairly soon in the next patch or two. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. She looks quite a bit different, or at least in terms of edginess. She looks more like an assassin because you can see these deadly looking tattoos. Before she was more clothed, so I guess they did make her a little bit more sexualized, but I think it looks fine. AKALI the rogue assassin, no longer is she going to be one-shotting people, and instead she's mainly supposed to be dancing in and out of fights. That's basically what that says. I just saved you all like 10 minutes. Alright, so let's look at her new abilities. Her passive is quite a bit different. Now, whenever she hits an enemy champion with an ability, she gets this little circle around them that looks like this. And then whenever she exits it, then her weapon starts spinning, and then it does a lot of extra damage when she lands it. So it's going to be kind of tricky for when she wants to land abilities. If you're already in melee with her, it can be very annoying for her, because then if you're already too close, then she'll have to walk out and then hit you, rather than if she were to hit you with a spell from here, then she could just walk at you and hit you that way. So for example, whenever she lands it on him right here, she has to walk on the outside to get it spinning, like so. And that's her passive. It spins, it does extra damage, pretty simple stuff. One thing I forgot to mention was, other than the damage itself, is once she has this circle up, AKALI gains a burst of movement speed towards the circle, and once she crosses it, once she steps into the ring, she gains even more movement speed towards them. So if you were wondering, well, how am I going to get to them after I land a spell, you can literally just run them down, assuming they don't CC you. This attack also restores a small amount of energy, so you're really going to want to be landing your passive as much as possible to stay in the fight to keep your energy up. Now for your Q, it's kind of similar to a Darius Q. You really want to hit them with the tip, and it counts as a slow. So instead of just doing extra damage at maximum range, it actually slows them, so you're really incentivized to try to land it right here on the tip. I can imagine top lane mobile champions like Fiora will give AKALI a lot of trouble, because of Fiora's Q, she can constantly dash into AKALI, which will make it tricky for AKALI, since AKALI wants to keep you at certain ranges so she can step in and out of these circles to hit you with her spinning passive. Also, at rank 5, apparently 5-point strike, her new Q, will deal extra damage to minions and monsters. I don't think that will be very impactful, because that will take a while. So her early game's probably gonna lack wave clear, which it kind of did already, but I guess she did have her E, which was her spin move, which was fairly good at clearing waves. So I don't think this is that important, but since they do have this in the game, or at least on her rework, I think people are going to be maxing her Q first. So putting minimum points in W and E, maxing Q first, probably maxing E second. Alright, and her new Shroud of Invisibility is quite a bit stronger in my opinion. So it starts out like a donut that doesn't have the hole missing, just like a circle. And then it quickly turns into a donut with the big circle in the middle. But look how big this still is. You could fit an AKALI right here, here, and here. Basically 3 champions width. And then she gets to run around this. So the idea is she traps her enemies in the middle. Like, they can walk out, but ideally she wants you to be in the middle while she dances around you, is the whole concept. AKALI restores energy and creates a cloud of smoke, which slowly spreads to cover a ring-shaped area, like I said. While in the smoke, AKALI is obscured and has increased movement speed. That's already like it used to be. While obscured, AKALI is stealthed, and through her position can be revealed, like if she attacks you. AKALI herself can't be, meaning she can't be targeted by abilities or attacks, including by turrets. So you can't hit her with a Pantheon Spear, nothing point or click, and no auto attacks. And now turrets can't even hit her. So even though a turret can see her, the turret still can't shoot her, which is a massive buff to her. She'll probably be fairly good at turret diving, since she can constantly reset aggro by tanking, attacking, stepping back in, and then it will switch to something else, assuming there's a minion or a different enemy champion there. AKALI can leave the smoke for a few times to extend the duration of the Twilight Shroud by a small amount. It's hard to say how balanced this will be, because they don't give us any numbers. If it's only like an extra second, it won't be a big deal, but if it adds 3 extra seconds, then it'll be really annoying. Her E is one of her main gap closers. Now for her E, AKALI backflips and throws the shuriken forward, damaging and marking the first enemy hit. I assume that means minion or champion. The shuriken can also hit and mark the smoke from Twilight Shroud. Not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. I assume if you're playing AKALI versus AKALI. AKALI can reactivate shuriken flip to dash to the marked target, damaging enemies she passes through. Basically, you throw out your E, it hits the first target, and once you land it, you can dash back to it, and whenever you throw it, it pushes you backwards, kind of like an Evelynn ult. So after you get pushed backwards, you can reactivate it, and just all in them. This is really good. She lands her E, and from where she landed it, I think she was technically in, so this is the circle range, and so since she landed her E right here, it pushed her on the outside, and now she has her spinning tool. Now she's going to jump to him and hit him with her passive. And then at this point, I assume she would use her ult or her W, probably her W, to make the circle around him so she can knock him out. Now, the main thing is I don't think you're going to be able to use this in lane very much because minions are going to get in the way and champions will know how to position against it. But if you do land this, like if you're ganking, especially if you're a Akali mid or a Akali jungle who's roaming, I feel like this could be a really strong tool, especially if your teammates have CC to keep the enemies still. Looking at Akali's new ultimate, I think it's overall a nerf. It's 2 dashes, and there's a slight delay between both of the dashes. The first dash deals physical damage and briefly stuns, while the second dash deals magic damage based off the enemy's missing HP. So the second dash is an AP execute. Looking at it, you can see that the first dash is actually fairly slow, and it's a really small stun. It'll probably be like a second max, very similar to a pike dash. And now she can use her second dash, which was the AP, and as you saw, it did a decent amount of damage. And yeah, guys, that's the Akali rework. I don't know if it'll be OP or not because they didn't tell us any of the cooldowns or any of the energy costs and none of the damages. Theoretically, this could be very busted because any energy champion, if the numbers are right, is OP because energy recharges way faster than mana. Plus, she has mobility. So theoretically, she could be OP, but it's hard to tell right now. Definitely an interesting kit. I don't think they should have reworked her since she was already in a pretty balanced spot, but I'm interested to see how this will play out. Okay, so let's look at playing as Akali. Spoiler alert, I've already kind of watched these to get an idea of what I'm looking at so I can explain it to you guys. So to see here, she lands her, it looks like she ulted in. Then she shuriken flips Yasuo, dashes to him. I think she still has her second ulti dash. Yep, there was her second AP ulti dash. She jumped in there. She threw out her Q this way. It looks like she missed. And she used her smoke screen. And then look, the turret won't hit her anymore. She turns like silver. Check this out. So the turret hits her. Now it stopped hitting her. And she's fine. So even though the turret can see her, it won't actually hit her. Think of it as an auto attack. You can't auto her while she's in her smoke screen. So to go back over it one more time. She opens up with her ultimate. She stuns Echo. She lands her E, her hurricane flip on the Yasuo. So now she can dash to him. She dashes to him, uses her passive since she dashed through the circle on her passive whenever she lands a spell. He's dead. And she threw her Q out that direction as well. Now she still has the other second part of her ultimate, which is the AP dash, which is a little quicker. Dashes to the Echo, throws out Q again. She's got her spinning auto attack, hits him, use Shroud to negate the turret, goes back invisible, and she's fine. So as you can see here, she's going to be a menace when it comes to turret diving. However, her damage is very reliant on her landing her E. So I'm curious to see how that will feel in game, how much time you have to react to it, and how quickly it moves. Okay, for these tips and tricks, I feel like they're kind of stupid. If you were paying attention to what I was saying about the abilities, I figure you could probably learn it and figure it out yourself. These tips are pretty useless. And then we have the extras. Very sexy, very nice. Now, this is the normal Akali skin. Thick AF, boy. Look at that. That's some next level stuff right there. I think this is the nicest looking one by far. The dragon tattoo, you can see her whole back with the way it's bowed and just the thickness. It's very nice. And then we have the, I don't know what skin this is. Does it not say the name of it when I click on it? This is like the Kill Bill Akali skin. It looks pretty dope. I like the chin on it. It looks like a Mortal Kombat character or something. It's like there's that Mortal Kombat character that's missing like her flesh around this area and all you can see is teeth. And then we have the, looks like Fire Akali. I don't think this is a very good representation of what Akali is or necessarily like how she looks like in game. Not a big fan. Soccer Akali looks pretty good. No complaints here. I think it looks a lot nicer than the Lee Sin soccer skin. I feel like the Lee Sin skin was a bit of a joke. Nurse Akali, a classic. Can't really go wrong with this. Very nice. And then we have Blood Moon Akali. This is definitely more Chinese themed, if you can tell from the Chinese dragons, and I guess that's the whole point of the Blood Moon. I guess they're doing it styled kind of after Chinese stuff. Still really cool. I like it a lot. Next we have, I don't know, this feels weird. It kind of feels like Echo. She looks like a female Echo right here, like the way she's sitting and holding this and the way she's looking is kind of like creepy, like an evil female Echo. This one's kind of weird. I don't know. It just doesn't really feel like Akali looking at it. It just feels like they were trying to make money. I'm personally not a fan of it. Maybe if you're into super futuristic stuff, you might like it. And then we have the barbecue one, I guess. I mean, I don't really see anything special about it. That's Leona, Pantheon, Olaf, and I guess this is Akali. I don't really see anything about it that makes it unique. Maybe like the headpiece right here, because that's like something a stereotyped, I think, Asian chef would wear. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's okay, but honestly, you can't look at the original. Like, this is clearly the best one. I don't think there's any argument about that. Even the background looks awesome. She looks like she's tearing out somebody's vocal cords. And yeah, guys, the new Akali looks pretty dank, pretty dope. It looks kind of similar to Irelia in terms of, she's definitely going to be strong. I think as long as they get the numbers right, she could definitely be overpowered if they just set the numbers a little too high. And if they set the numbers a little bit low, she's just going to get bullied very hard in lane, especially by people like Aatrox or Fiora. Definitely interested to see how it plays out. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.